Okay, so San Diego Comic-Con, am I right? So it was awesome. I only went for 3.5 days. Let me explain. Okay, you guys can unmute yourselves. You know that, right?
I'm unmuted. It's the other guy. Oh, he kicked himself out. Crypto kicked. Whoa, what's going on over there? All right,
I don't know, but
give me a break. I only had an hour's sleep before this.
Let me explain why I was there for 3.5 days. So I got tickets, right? I got badges for Thursday through Saturday. So those are my main days. But the year prior, I was invited to go to a photo shoot this year on Wednesday, which is preview night, which I don't go to, by the way, because I don't really care about preview night all that much. Okay.
Yeah.
So I pull up Wednesday evening to the freaking so there's a hotel that's right next to the convention center, if anyone doesn't know. So that's where the photo shoot was being held. And I got there kind of early. I got there around an hour early because I was taking the train down from where I was staying. I'm not going to dox where I was staying. Yeah. But it was awesome. We got some cool pictures. I got awkward family photos. Yay!
Oh, there you go.
With any feral mutant that was there. So basically it was just me, 2 Saberteeth, and 2 Wolverines. That's how it went. And occasionally a Deadpool came around, which was my friend. Shout out Mikey. And
it's not a convention unless you have a Deadpool or 2.
Oh, there was many Deadpools. I'm not gonna lie to you there.
Yeah.
But that was fun. I had the worst headache during that photo shoot. So when I got back to the train, I was like, taking that bitch off, taking out the contacts. We're gonna lay here for an hour and we're going to be fine. So Thursday, I dressed up as you guys know. I talk about the Christopher Chaos books on here.
Yeah.
Right. Which new issue comes out this week, by the way.
There you go.
And I got to dress up as my man, Adam Frankenstein. I didn't send these guys any pics, but you can go on my Instagram, which I'll tell you what it is later if you don't know. And you can see all the pictures that I posted. So I got to meet most of the Christopher Chaos crew. They know about my existence. I kept my promise to Sully. I kept my promise to her that I would do it, and then I did it. Went to an after party, did not get drunk because someone had to be responsible. I was the only 20-year-old out of a bunch of 30 and 40-year-olds at that after party.
Oh, wow.
No, it's okay because I was the responsible one, making sure that the most drunk person there got enough water and some food to eat. I was like, I don't care if you're pissing for 30 minutes straight, drink some fucking water.
There you go.
They had adult Capri Suns at this bar, by the way. I need to preface that. But it was all good. It was bougie. So Friday, that was the day where I was supposed to be committing to my Wild Child cosplay, which I dressed up for on preview night, if you didn't remember. You know, and if you guys didn't know, Marvel usually does like a little mini cosplay contest, right? They didn't do that this year. They didn't even have a stage this year. I don't know why, but they had a cosplay meetup, which felt like bullshit, by the way, but whatever. I got featured on their YouTube channel again, though.
Ooh, cool.
As Wild Child. Yeah, I bought a couple things. I went to some panels all weekend, which was cool as hell. I've never been to panels at SDCC before. Cool. And then, not a lot of people knew who I was the first 2 days, which was fine. But then Saturday, which was my final day, I dressed up as Soma Cruz from Castlevania, Austin. I remembered I sent you those pictures. If you're watching at all at any point, you saw pictures. It's fine. A lot of people knew who I was, which was shocking. So that was sick as hell. I tried to go to the Ultimate Universe panel because Marvel wasn't doing Hall H this year. Something was going on in Hall H, but it wasn't Marvel. I could tell you that much. I couldn't make it in. They got too full, which I don't know why they gave them one of the smaller rooms, one of the smaller panel rooms, but I don't know why they couldn't go to ballroom 20 like they did for the Dragon Prince panel, which I went to on Thursday. Ayo, I'll get to that later. But whatever, I didn't make it in. Ironic coming from me, but I think they're just talking about the new one, not the old one. If they were talking about the old one, please let me know if you went to San Diego as well. Yeah, a lot of people knew who I was, and I was searching everywhere all day for Castlevania cosplayers, and I didn't find any until I was about to leave, because I was by the shuttle which takes you to the train station. I was like sitting around, I was looking at everything before I left, and then I saw 2 Annette cosplayers and 1 Alucard cosplayers, and my bitch ass shut up, and I was like, can I get a picture with you 3? I've been looking for Castlevania cosplayers all goddamn day. I got my pictures. It was great. But before then, I went to a 2-hour panel. About like a very small list of comic book people and more. They were hosting like a queer panel. It was awesome as hell. And I was able to meet the writer of one of my favorite comics of all time, Briar. Right? Love that comic. I got to show him my cosplay because I'm the only Briar cosplayer out there, and I wasn't even dressing up as her. But it's fine because after I talked to him and I got a picture with him, I checked the book. I checked like the 2 books that he signed. The second volume, he just like signed it, but the first one, he was like, to Richter, Roop in real life, and I cried. I have alibis. I cried. It was a good cry. After spending years, no judgment here, okay? No judgment here. Because that meant a lot to me, just letting you know. And guess what, motherfuckers? I'm not going to tell you much, but what I am going to tell you is that we're getting the last arc of Briar, and I'm happy.
Oh, and it off with a good bang,
Yeah, but the outside stuff was kind of underwhelming. I went to the Petco Park stuff, because they usually have stuff there, and there was not a lot to do. That either you didn't have to wait in a long ass line, there was only like 3 things, and one of them was for eBay. What the fuck was eBay doing there? What the fuck is that about? Anyways, most of it was just overpriced food trucks. Yeah, overpriced food trucks. Who was surprised? Raise your hand if you're surprised. No one? Exactly.
Hey, I'm the type that brings sandwiches to conventions, so yeah, that's just me.
No, I brought snacks. So don't worry, I had food. I just didn't want to spend $6 for a small snow cone.
Plus 15 minutes waiting online, this and that, so.
For real. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun as always. I do plan on going back again next year. So stay tuned for that, besties, because more North Star to come. Yay!
Yay.
That's it.
Okay. Hey, glad to hear which had a great time. So, all right then. With that out of the way, I think we should get started with the show. So I'll go ahead. Welcome, Comcast Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Secret 415. It's tiring to make a new intro, so move on.
You're here with me, Jay Tylenol. I'm here to tell you, Ian Flynn still got it.
Austin is not here tonight. He was in my place yesterday because I wasn't there yesterday because of work reasons. But I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I am Eepy from my 2 conventions in a row. But I'm here.
And together, we form the Fanatics, and we're here to talk to you about the news and reviews of the week. And today on our special Tuesdays, we talk about the comic news. This includes comics such as, but not exclusive to, Captain Planet, Ultimate X-Men. We got we have our usuals, the Bionicles. That's like weekly. We review that one. Also, we're reviewing My Vampire System. For how long? I don't know how. But you probably see
Dude,
the
you're
also.
weirdly obsessed with this for some reason.
Listen, it didn't. It wasn't always this way. Which I was a different man a couple weeks ago.
I
Right?
believe you. I'm not gonna deny it. I believe you.
It's true. It's true.
It's just something I've noticed, you know.
Right. It's changed me. Okay. But we'll be talking about that, and we'll be talking about other things too. We have a whole list of books, a whole cornucopia of books. I don't even know if I used that word correctly. But if you want to know what we can use correctly, which we got socials, ain't that right?
We do, and I can finally talk about the socials.
Mhm.
Woo! Anyways,
Yeah.
first of all, subscribe to us because I plan on doing something really interesting. If you subscribble, I don't even know how many subscribbles we have, guys. Place your bets while I check. Anyways, you can also follow us on our Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. Remember, that's with a PH, not with an F, a PH. We are at 63 subscribbles. Come on, guys. You can get us to 100. That's all we want. Anyways, if you don't want to follow the whole squad and you want to see what I'm up to because you think I'm cool or whatever the fuck, you can follow me on my Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok at witch_of_Jotunheim. You can find all of the cool cosplay photos I took at San Diego Comic-Con on my Instagram. Yay!
Yeah, nice.
Anyways, you can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria. You can find me on Rednote/Xiaohongshu, which whenever I decide to post on there again at Witch of Jotun. You can support me financially and see some up-and-coming stuff maybe on my Ko-Fi at Witch of Jotunheim. And if you want to hit me up for a commission, because my art commissions are still open, they have not closed in a hot second. You can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, but preferably Instagram because Instagram DMs are weird for some reason. Yay! Austin is not here, like I said earlier. Jake, I don't even know what he's doing. What are you doing, Jake?
Right now, I'm just tired. I had to stop by in the Sonic universe because I forgot that was going on this week. And so I had to go catch up with what my boy Sonic was doing with the homies, the Chaotix.
Felt that.
Yeah.
I had to stop. I'm going to be stopping by in New Briar City this week anyway, so I feel your pain. And Cryptid's in the same spot as always. He doesn't really like to leave his space that much, which I can respect. Also, I got a Ruby poster at San Diego Comic-Con. I forgot to bring that up.
Oh.
And they gave me free coasters. I have 4 Ruby coasters. For free!
Awesome.
I survived off of free shit. That's all I gotta say there.
Look at Witch bragging about all the goodies he got.
I didn't even get that many goodies. I didn't even get the Monster High exclusive dolls, which
Monster.
I would have only gotten one anyways because I was not about to spend $160 for 2 dolls, but still $80 for a doll is insane to me. You know, they used to be $25, $25 to $50.
Oh, wow.
That's all I gotta say. Inflation, guys. Inflation. Inflation.
Yep.
Anyways, let's get started.
All right. So let's get a little. Before we get to the comics audience, let's start off with a little bit of news topic from this past week.
Hi guys.
The honors.
Okay, hello. I would love to do the honors. Okay, so as you guys know, I went to San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, and the first thing that I wanted to do on Thursday was go to the Dragon Prince panel. That was something that I needed to go to. I did not care if I was late. I was going to be there. Even if I have to sit on the sides of the freaking ballroom itself. But I didn't. I got to see it. Anyway, so I'm here to announce that a Kickstarter has opened up for the Dragon King. Yeah!
Wow. We knew the story wasn't going to end with the last season audience, so...
That shit was wild. That cliffhanger was wild. We talked about it all in our review if you want to go see it. A couple videos ago, by the way. Yeah, a couple videos. So, it was basically 2 of the showrunners, the voice actor for Callum, I'm blanking on his name at the moment, but he also voiced Sokka in Avatar, by the way, which there was an Avatar panel happening too, by the way. Which I'm not getting into because I wasn't there. And Dante
Mhm.
Bosco was there too, who voiced Zim
Oh.
in the last episode of season 7.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was
From
there
the
also. So
from
we basically
Fire Prince to Dragon Prince audience, what a turnaround.
yes.
Mhm.
Let me pull up the article actually so that I can just have it in front of me. So yeah, we got
Mhm.
it. Oh, it is one of Netflix's longest running animated series, which is wild to
Mhm.
think about. Out of all the
Yeah.
shows, out of all the original
The
animated shows, that lasted so long.
Yeah, Dragon Prince seems like that series that has like a very dedicated fan base. Considering, remember, we had like what 3 or 4 years of a hold between season 3 and 4, I believe.
Yeah, they were on
Yeah,
a bit of a hiatus. Yes.
yeah, so hey, and people still came back as soon as it came up, so yeah.
Yeah, but we had there was a lot of cool peoples that are going to be involved with it. Hold on, let me find the Kickstarter actually, which by the way, the link should be in the description. Feel free to go into the
Mhm.
description, click that link for the Kickstarter link and bookmark it. Yay!
Mhm.
The trailer came
Mhm.
out, but if you were at the panel, you got to see it before everyone else did, which was
Yeah.
insane to me. Like I literally walked in and I saw on the screens the Dragon King, and I lost my shit. I was like, "What? Holy shit!"
Dude, just looking at Ezra in this photo, man, dude looks like a warrior, man. I gotta
Oh
say
yeah, he kind
that.
of looks like his dad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get Dante Bosco back. I mean, he just barely started here, so that's sick as hell. We're also getting Liam O'Brien. If you don't know who that is, that's perfectly fine. If I can remember, I think it was a part of Critical Role. I don't remember exactly, but he's gonna be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I can't really tell you much because I wasn't given much.
Mm-hmm.
But we did get some funny interactions between the two VAs that were there.
Nice.
Obviously, we're gonna be like picking up where we last left off. If you watch the trailer, you hear baby cries, and I will figure out who the baby cries were because I don't even know. We're gonna have to speculate until we get the fucking trailer or the show or whatever the fuck it is.
Just saying, audience, last season 10 is a lucky number. So if you know, you know, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, I know I follow the Kickstarter now, so I would recommend you guys too. And they had a Q&A section at the end, and I zoomed to the little spot that they told us to go to for the questions, and I got to ask my question. I was very nervous. I was in my Adam Frankenstein cosplay because that was in my lineup. I didn't even know about this panel until like a week before it actually happened, and I was already like almost finished with all my shit. So that was fun. That was lovely. Anyways, so yeah, I was there. I was low-key kind of shaking. I don't know, like if anyone sees that Q&A and you see me on there. If I'm shaking, if I sound like I'm shaking, ignore that, please. So basically, I got to ask if there was any pushback from people when it came to any of the queer characters and how easy or difficult was it to get these characters put into the show. And basically, what they told me was that it was actually fairly easy for them to get these characters in, which was sick as hell. And they haven't really gotten any pushback from anyone specifically or any like institution. So that was sick as hell. I think it's because no one outside a certain group of people have watched this show. So that's good for me because I don't want to have to deal with these people. I hate dealing with these people.
Yeah, and it also helps that these are well-written characters, audience. I mean, I had said this
Even if
before in
they
our
weren't
review.
well written, cryptid, damn well they would have complained.
But I just want to say, like, I said this when we did our discussion of Dragon Prince season 7. If you don't like Terry, right? There's something wrong with you there,
Yeah, there's something wrong with you if you don't like Terry. They were going to bring up a funny thing about Terry, but they never actually got to it, and I was kind of sad.
Aw. Okay.
Like, I don't know. But still, yeah, follow the Kickstarter. It's in the description, besties, of this specific live stream. I made sure to tell these motherfuckers to put it in the description. Right, Cryptid?
I did. All right.
Make sure you go watch all the little videos about it, the Kickstarter announcement, and the cool little videos by Dante Bosco and Liam O'Brien. I'm not gonna say too much because they might post the actual live stream from the panel later. I don't know, but I forgot to mention something. When I got up there to ask my question, they were like, before we went up, they were like, okay, yeah, introduce yourselves, ask your question, and then stand up to the side so that you can so that they can talk to you while they answer your question. And so basically, this is how I started out. I was like, hi, my name's Richter. I just wanted to say thank you for filling the void that Voltron left. And then I got a lot of chuckles out of that. That was shocking how many chuckles I got out of that. Because if you know anything about Voltron, you know. Because I didn't watch She-Ra. I watched Voltron. I'm not kidding with you. Like, I finished the last season of Voltron, and I was like, damn, okay, well, whatever. And so then I was, like, on Netflix on my phone when I had it on my phone. I don't anymore. I exclusively watch this shit on my iPad or on my TV. And I saw that this new show just dropped called Dragon Prince, and I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then I checked it out, and I liked it. I think I remember exactly where I was going to. I think I was going to a band concert when I first saw that shit. It was either a band concert or a theater thing. But all you need to know is that that's where I watched it, and that's where I started loving it. So
for me, it was during the pandemic, really, and I saw some clips online between Rayla and Callum, and I'm like, okay, I like the investment there. So that's my origin for how I got into Dragon Prince audience. So
I was there pre-COVID, bitch. I was still I'm an OG.
Yeah, well, you could say he's an OG audience. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch She-Ra, so that wasn't my expertise. But I did watch Dragon Prince and Voltron. That's what I watched.
Cool.
Maybe I might get around to watching it, but we'll see. But that's not important. But what I'm going to say, and I'm saying this again, awesome panel. By the way, I hope they actually post it online. That'll be sick as hell. And two, go bookmark the Kickstarter in the link in the description because I said so. Do it. Do it now. I want the Dragon King to drop.
Same here. So,
do it. Yeah. Cryptid, I expect you to do it too, man.
Yeah, of course. Dang right, man. So
just at least bookmark it. That's all they want, because if enough people bookmark it, it will be promoted free by Kickstarter. So do it. Do it now.
Do your duties to your Dragon King audience. So
do it for the Dragon King.
Yeah. So all right then.
That's all from me for right now until my first book.
Gotcha. So anyway, I guess we really should get started on the other books. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about today, audience. So all right, with that, we're moving on to the next book, and I got this one, Lie Popeye #5. Audience, I've been enjoying this book for the most part, but it kind of this book was, I guess, the only hiccup of the run for me. And it only just got more amplified after learning that this was actually a 5-issue miniseries. Like, what? Like, the way this book ended, it did not feel like that's where it should have ended, To catch people up to speed, this story was about, delving more into, Popeye's, history, specifically, one, how did he lose his eye, And two, what exactly is his relationship with him and spinach? Because they went into depth and state that, dude, it's something about Popeye's body that reacts to the spinach. Because what he eats, it's just plain old ordinary spinach. Nothing unique about it, So Popeye had a bunch of these anime style final bosses coming after him, and Popeye kind of had to learn to unleash the power of his spinach without actually eating spinach in this book. he was able to do that. He just needed to focus on harnessing that power, you know. But bottom line is, to make a long story short, like the the stepchild, I think his name is Sweet Pea, the one that Popeye and Olive took under their wing as basically their adopted son. Yeah, he gets kidnapped by the head honcho of this group. Who, yeah, he's the one on the cover right here, audience. You could go ahead and say he's probably like the Thanos of this whole group. And yeah, he needs Sweet Pea for a nefarious purpose, because apparently Sweet Pea might end up growing like with the same power as Popeye in the future, you know. So you can basically think of him as the Franklin Richards of this story, you know. So you know, all of them go on a rescue mission to save Popeye's child, and you know, also let me bring up the main bad guy himself. Look at that, audience. Doesn't that look like a final boss right there? You know. So there you go. So they all go fight him. The witch that's tagging along with them, you know, also gives them all some suits of armor. Oh, and by the way, Olive Oil, apparently she has some witch lineage in her past history with the females in her family. So, you know, she had to unlock all that and relearn everything. Well, not relearn, she had to learn everything in a fast pace, you know. She's she specifically had to go to one of her ancestors and kind of absorb all her knowledge into her, you know? Yeah, I don't know if that was canon to Popeye lore, the fact that Olive Oil has magic history, but yeah. I, you can't say it wasn't there, I guess, you know, because we never got the chance to see her origin, you know? So yeah, they all go there. Big fight commences. Even Pluto gets some upgrades. I mean, look at that shield and armor he has. You know, he keeps that. He keeps that for throughout the course of this fight. So anyway, the fight commences. Popeye just goes all Super Saiyan without his spinach and goes fights the head guy himself. And you come to find out that you know, well, first off, Popeye doesn't really beat him. He's basically just toying with him throughout the whole time. And it wasn't until the guy did his big villain moment and finally unmasked himself that we got to see what's beneath the mask. Hopefully, this picture is, you guys can see this picture. That's what the guy looks like beneath the mask. And his name is Ham Gravy.
Cryptid, do you want like really good, like nice scans of the pages so you don't have to take it with
Well,
your phone?
well, no, that's the thing, which there are no, this book isn't online. I checked, so the only way I could bring up the photos is actually taking pictures of them. Yeah, I checked. Not all books could be online, you know. So yeah, this is Ham Gravy. Apparently, he was a former lover of Olive Oil before Popeye came in, and I guess he realized he could compete with Popeye. He wasn't going to waste his life like Pluto did, you know. So he's trying to find alternative means to not just be as strong as Popeye, but be better than him, you know. So yeah, fight commences. Popeye's just giving him everything he's got. He's basically going Luffy Gear 4 audience, you know, all his move sets, this and that. And all this really just ends in Ham Gravy just disappearing. He got what he needed. He even left Sweet Pea behind for Popeye and Olive Oil to rescue, you know? And you find out that he's Ham Gravy is working for with someone else who's in the same armor as him. Like this whole thing was just done so that they could properly analyze Popeye. You know that you know now that he can unleash his power without spinach. The only difference right now, audience, is that his eye turns black and his pupil turns green. You know, so um, he does notice he did get one scratch in his armor, but you know, he didn't mind that at all because, hey, next time I face Popeye, it's going to be perfect, you know. So basically, everybody just goes back to their normal lives. you do see Olive Oil. She's talking to her ancestors while Popeye's away, right? And her ancestors like saying, "You know, you're going to have to tell them eventually." And wait, what's going on here? Because apparently Olive knows the truth behind Popeye and his spinach, but she doesn't want to tell him about it because her ancestors saying, let's see, let me read that line. Uh, it's going to break his heart. Popeye and spinach are inseparable, but I feel like telling the truth will break his heart.
You're
Oh.
saying.
Oh God, dude. Or are you going to say, oh, man, what could that truth be, audience? You know, I'm dying to know. Like they teased us in the beginning of this, but like we're not going to get. As far as I'm aware, we don't have a story after this. Like what? Oh come on, this.
Find out because you're reading Popeye now, but you can find out more in Popeye Z.
Pretty much. Popeye E. Papa. You know, funny enough, Jake, when I was like trying to look online more on this series, they actually literally did state this is Popeye's adventure into the manga style, basically, you know? So every time I kept saying that the final bosses all look like anime final bosses, yeah, that was their intent. So yeah, the issue doesn't tell you what the whole deal is between Popeye and his spinach, which it was lame, man. I was sad. But Pluto, though, something kind of interesting happens to him, right? Pluto, like, he does end up keeping the armor that was given to him by the witch. He's like, hey, maybe I could put this up to good use next time me and old Popeye go get to roughing around. And but wouldn't you know it, right as he's about to, set sail, a woman comes up to him looking for a boat. Let me bring the picture up. Hopefully, you guys can see the woman in the bottom right hand corner. She's like, hey, so does this boat work or what? I'm looking at you, Pluto. And Pluto's like, I ain't doing no boat tours today, lady. Try Popeyes for that mess. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm not looking for a wimp like Popeye. I need a proper man for my expedition. Dude, you can hear the wedding bells pop up in Pluto's mind. He's like saying, well, I just so happen to be that man. So yeah, the girl ends up revealing herself as Claudette Spades. And she's looking for a boat captain, and Pluto fits her list. Wow, looks like we might see Pluto go ditch Olive Oil for another love interest of his life. I guess, hey, good for him, man. He would seem like the type that one go with a lover that has some meat on her bones, so good for him. Some character progression at long last. I know it took 75 years, but for Pluto to move on, but hey, better late than never, And yeah, we do get back to the witch. She apparently does take some of the power that was left behind by Cam Gravy and rejuvenates herself from, she was basically looking like the witch from Wizard of Oz, like all wrinkly and ugly and this and that. But now she pulls a Maleficent, and she still has this green skin, but now she has her youthful appearance now. And that's really how the issue ends. I'm like, yeah, it didn't feel like an ending, and I was bummed out. I was bummed out about that a lot, audience. Well, I'm just going to keep an eye out for Popeye. Oh, yeah, let me keep one eye out for Popeye in the future, audience. So, alrighty. That's it for my book. So, all right. Oh, you're going to say something, Jake?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, that was me.
Okay.
Sorry. I couldn't find my glasses for a sec. Okay, we're good now.
Nah, problem. All right, we'll move on to the next book now. Which?
Oh, it's my turn. I don't know where my picks are at. Anyways.
Wait. On the list, it says it's my turn. I don't remember at this time.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's Jake's turn. I have the picks in order, man. All right.
Yeah, so. No, my picks are in order. Yeah.
Okay. You do it.
We're back with my vampire.
Oh yeah, your vampire system.
Yes. So this is what I'm calling season 3 of my Vampire System. It really might be season 4, but only because I only started separating these out in arcs when I started getting interested. So technically, this might be season 4. I'm calling it season 3. Okay. Right now, last season, Quinn met another vampire named Bex, but Quinn also learned that he is unique in the sense that he gets his vampire powers from an AI system, while other vampires are just, normal fucking vampires, Dracula and all that shit. You know what I mean? And so Bex was trying to figure out the secret of Quinn's power, but Quinn couldn't let him know what it was. But despite their initial mistrust of each other, they bonded together and somewhat became friends and all this other shit. They also had an epic fucking fight. Like the Team Quinn had an epic fucking fight with the King Beast. Okay, that's still one of my favorite fights in the whole fucking series. I think it is my favorite fight in the series. But now times have changed. Okay. Because this time, I've long awaited since the very first arc of the series. Mm-hmm. We're at the tournament, baby! It's the tournament arc, okay?
Yay!
So this tournament is held by all the schools where the best of the best students compete in the arena to see who is producing the strongest students. So it's like, because everybody lives in a military academy, right? Yeah. And so, so everybody competes in a military academy. Well, everybody lives in a military academy where they have to. Oh, hey, Tevye. Hey,
Tevye. Looks cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
But yeah, so everybody lives in a military academy in different dorms and everything, and I think this is like Quinn's at military base 2. So every military base is training their kids to be the best of the best, and then they all meet head to head sometime in the year to see who's training the best. As far as the school's concerned, Quinn's a weak little bitch, okay? He's level 1, so he can't really participate in the tournament. But he does get to be a substitute because his teacher actually hates his guts and wants him to embarrass himself on stage. But little does he know, Quinn wants to show off anyway, so this will work out for him. This arc was actually a lot of fun, disappointing in some ways, great in others. I think we'll start with the greats. I think I like Quinn now as a character. Before what was carrying me through this was the power system and the lore. Because the power system actually is very involved and very it's always evolving. Like you always learn more about it like every couple chapters. And I think I said this before. I think one of the things that my Vampire Sister does as well is it does a great job of taking vampire tropes, but giving it to teenagers like in a high school setting and making them have to deal with it. Like it's one thing when you're like you have to be a vampire and you have to eat blood, you have to drink blood and all that shit. But it's another when when you have to do that, but you're trapped in a boarding school. Whose blood are you gonna drink? Another student's? He's just gonna report you, all that other shit. So it's like
in a school setting, a juice box would probably be like tomato juice to them,
So and there's so many other things, like even this arc, even the last arc, like Quinn turned Peter into a ghoul, and so Peter has to eat human meat. He can't eat any other meat but human meat. And I want you to think about that. They're in a school they can't leave, and Peter's only source of living is human meat. Okay.
Oh.
What the fuck are they gonna do? And that was the arc. That was like one of those arcs. Like earlier, I was like, "Dog, this is actually pretty fun." Just figure out how they're gonna get rid of this. And I did like the clever planning, like the way they got around that. It was involved. It took a lot of effort, but they did find a way to where Peter could have human meat, but also like the school wouldn't be able to find out that he got it. So that was pretty dope. But this arc, Quinn's a bit tired. He's like, listen, I've been getting stronger, and I'm still getting bullied by the same people that I know I'm stronger than. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of tired of the bullying, and he kind of shows out a little bit this arc. We get these bullies pull up on him in the store. Like Quinn, you know, he's saved up a lot of money through his side quest and all this other shit. And they go to a store to buy something. And these bullies come in, they're like level 6, and again, on paper, Quinn is a level 1. And they're like, hey, yo, they see Quinn's a level 1, they're like, hey, you're going to give me that shit you just bought. And Quinn's like, the fuck I am? Like, what are you talking to? And a fight's about to break out, but the bully is kind of getting embarrassed because he keeps trying to take the shit from Quinn, but Quinn just, you know, like, he's not budging. It's like, you know those moments in Superman where someone tries to pick on Clark because they think he's like a weak bitch, but like, they can't make him move, and they're like, oh, wait, this is embarrassing, wait a minute. Like, that's kind of what this was. And so the guy to save face, he challenges Quinn to a competition where basically, Krypton, you know, like when you're doing martial arts, like the blocking training, where they have like sticks come at you, you got to block them and all that shit?
Yeah.
That's basically what they have to do. It's like a little game. And it's to see who lasts longest. And I like how like the guy's so confident in himself, like that he can do it. But then you see Quinn just go like Bruce Lee and just like block all this shit like effortlessly. And he looks at this dude, he's like, yo, that was pretty fun. I could go another round. He's like, oh, oh shit, I'm about to lose. I love that whole bit. I also like how Quinn does give up part of his identity. They did have this plan where Quinn has 2 sets of powers. He has the vampire powers and the shadow powers, which technically go with the vampire powers, but they're different in a way. They're different in a way where it's where he can reveal that he has them, but also not reveal he's a vampire. And so we do get to see on stage Quinn finally reveal that, you know, I'm not a vampire. I have shadow powers. I had powers the whole time.
Like, I'm no vampire. Who do I?
Right, I'm not a vampire. I was lying to you guys the whole time. I had powers, okay? And it comes up with the whole backstory, a fake backstory. Well, it's kind of true, but kind of not, about how he got these powers to begin with. So now, as far as the school is aware, Quinn is one of the strongest of first years, which I think is cool. He still has to keep the vampire thing a secret, and there is some consequences, I suspect, will fall out of this. But, you know, it is what it is. We also get the reveal of Fex's sister. Okay, this plot has been lingering in the background. So Fex snuck away from the planet Vampire, wherever the planet is, to go to Earth because he wanted to live a normal life. And so, well, not a normal life, but he wanted to see what that human shit was about. He's like, you know what? We keep hearing about these humans, but well, what's being a human like? You know, what that shit about? And Fex's sister comes to town, and she's like, I'm dragging your ass back. And, you know, she corners Fex and everything. I did like that, her name's Silver, by the way, I'm sorry. I did like how, like, Silver is a rule, as like, she sticks by the rules, but she does love her brother. Like, when she finds her brother and she's scolding him, but she sees how, like, sad her brother is that he's gonna leave, she's like, well, like, we don't have to go back right away. Like, I can give you till the end of the tournament. You can just say goodbye to any friends you made or whatever. And he's like, thanks. And that was a pretty sweet moment. I didn't like how that quickly turned to a bad thing because Fex was like, oh, wait a minute. Quinn's a vampire on this planet. If my sister finds this out, he's going to take him in for questioning and also find out that he also has a ghoul under his command, which is an illegal, which means that Quinn's going to get executed for this shit. Oh, fuck. So he tries to hide it, but, you know, this all gets revealed. Like, you know, like because Peter has to fight in the arena, and I love this. So Peter, who's the ghoul that Fex has to hide from his sister, Peter's fighting in the arena, and his sister is the referee. So she's like sniffing a bit. She's like, "What's that smell? Is that a ghoul? What? Who the fuck? Is that illegal?"
Oh dang!
And so this becomes a whole plan of like, okay, so so Fex has to come up with a whole plan to try to get Quinn's identity kept from his sister. And that whole bit was actually pretty cool, too. I like how far Fex was willing to go for Quinn, and I like how he was willing to go around Quinn's back to protect him. Because remember, when they first met, Vex was fully planning on selling out Quinn. Like, he was like, listen, we're going to be friends, but, like, if I got to sell you out to keep me from getting in trouble, I do it. But in this moment, Quinn's like his brother, and he's like, I'm willing to put myself in harm's way to make sure that you're safe for at least a little bit. And he does. And that whole arc was pretty sad. I did like how, like, we even had to have the squad fight Quinn so Vex could sacrifice himself and Peter, because Peter still had to go.
Yeah.
So we're not sure if Peter's gonna die yet, but Vex basically made a plan so that Silver would temporarily believe that she found the person who made Peter a ghoul. But in reality, it's just Peter in disguise pretending to be like somebody else. And so that's gonna come back in the future. And then it set Quinn on this path where he's just being a badass for the rest of the arc. But I do have some disappointing things. So, like tournament arcs, and it's like really fun to see your favorite characters, see what they've learned, see how they grow, and all this other shit. I think I'm disappointed because like the entire squad just failed me. You know what I mean? Like Layla. Okay, so Layla is one of Quinn's first friends. She's like the vampire enthusiast and everything. And her arc is that everyone keeps telling her that she's useless. And that's like her arc. Where everyone's like, everybody but Quinn is like, you're pretty useless. You're pretty, like, everybody's getting stronger on this team but you. And she has to be the archer representative for the team. And there's these girls that are bullying her nonstop. And so she says, you know what? And then you also find out that she's also a terrorist secretly. And even her people are telling her, hey, listen, it's okay. Just drop out the competition. You weren't going to win anyway. So just drop out and then we can continue with our plan. And Layla's like, what? Not even my own mother or my terrorist team believes in me? This is insane. So she wants to win one round, just one round of archery, just to prove that she's not useless. And she gets humiliated live on stage. She's the first one eliminated. I was like, oh my God, that sucks. It does lead down an interesting path, but I was disappointed. Because this also came off the heels of Logan, who just flat out dropped out of the race. He did get to Logan was supposed to be the head crafter of the school, and he's been clutch. Like, he's been clutch since he's been introduced. But Logan hasn't really done I'm sorry. But Logan, when he gets to the tournament, he doesn't want to participate because he thinks it's beneath him. And when people call him out on it, he says, listen, I'm looking around at everybody's shit. And I'm telling you right now, it took y'all 30 minutes to make a decent thing. It would have taken me 5 minutes to make something better than that. And they're like, cap. And he's like, I mean, I'll do it. Like, you give me some shit, I'll do it right now. And he does. And he actually does succeed. Like, in 5 minutes, he beats somebody who worked 30 minutes on an object. He says, but I'm still dropping out. So, later. I think that was cool. I think the real letdown, though, is Nate. So Quinn and Nate are online rivals, but they don't know each other by name. And this was supposed to be the arc where they were going to meet each other. So Nate is excited because he's been looking for the Blood Evolver. He wants to fight him. Like, he wants a real fight. He's like Goku. He wants a real fight. And the Blood Evolver is a real fight. And so he goes to this tournament. He's like looking around for the guy. And it's like this cat and mouse game of like, where is he? Like, which one is the Blood Evolver? And eventually he thinks he finds the Blood Evolver, but he's like, oh, he doesn't fight like him. This isn't the guy. This is the guy. And so Quinn eventually has to substitute, and he meets Nate, but he doesn't know that Nate is the guy from the game. And they're like bonding and shit like that. Like, Quinn's like, oh, this dude's a really nice guy. Eventually Quinn puts it together first. And this is after Nate finds out about Quinn's shadow ability. He's like, he fights like the Blood Evolver, but I never saw this shadow shit, so I don't really know, like, I don't think he is. And they get into the ring, and Quinn, and they're about to fight, and Quinn goes, you know what? I give up. I quit. And then the guy's like, what? But I wanted to fight you. And Quinn's like, listen, I can't fight you right now. But trust me. Meet me online, and we'll scrap. I promise. He's like, okay, what's your username? He's like, you already know. He's like, what? What do you mean I already know? And I do like this bit, too, because Nate loses the next fight, because you think about that the whole time. because he's like, what does he mean by that? What does he mean? I already know his name. He's already on my friends list.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking funny. I did think the arc. I think where the arc is weakest though is that it does kind of just peter out. There's no satisfying like in fight. There's like a cool fight. There is Quinn versus like the Octo guy. It was pretty cool seeing Quinn just kind of flex, and he even says like, "I fought stronger people. The only reason this is hard for me is because I'm not using my other set of powers. Like I'm really just holding back because I can't use my vampire powers here. That's the only reason I'm losing right now. But he does wind up winning. I thought that was pretty cool. We also get the return of Jack True Dream, who is the head of the military, but only because they're afraid of him. Like, they don't really fuck with him like that. He has the ability to take people's abilities away permanently, but he can't use the powers himself. So if he met, like, Captain America, he could take Captain America's powers, but he would have to give them to somebody else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he couldn't be Captain America himself. Now, unfortunately, how does he do this technique? He has to kiss you on the mouth.
What?
Yeah, which created a really weird scene where he had to kiss a teenage girl on the mouth. I was like, Jesus. That's seemingly not really weird because he kisses the teenage boy and he's like, oh, that was gross. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, you know, he doesn't want to do it. And he sees like the girl. He's like, oh no, that's a girl I don't mind kissing. I was like, oh damn it. All right. Wow.
He likes who he likes, man. You can't blame him, dude. Like, you know.
I guess so. But he's obsessed with Quinn. Now he wants Quinn's powers. So now that's a danger to watch out for. But he can't go after Quinn because Quinn says that he's protected by the Blade family. And the retired military goes like, looks at Jack and they're like, hey, Jack, just so you know, don't fuck with that kid. They're like, what do you mean? Like, that's the fucking Blade family. We don't fuck with them. All right. Don't ever in your life that you could touch the Blade family. Okay. So he's like, I don't know what that even means. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, but the arc ends in a pretty shocking way. So Quinn has this teacher named Leo who's been teaching him how to fight. And he's a really good guy. He's like the only adult that's been ever nice to Quinn. And he wants to teach Quinn about ki. I'm not making this up. Like I literally mean like we introduce ki into this universe now. So
yeah.
And he tries to teach Quinn the same way that he does, but in the process, he accidentally gets turned into a vampire. I was like, what? Yeah. So now Quinn's teacher is a vampire. I thought that was pretty fucking weird. But we don't get to see Quinn versus Nate. They do know each other now. Now he knows who the Blood Evolver is. But because Quinn can't use his shadow powers in the game, Nate's like, no, I want to fight you at your strongest. I want to fight you with all your moves. So we're going to save this for another day. And I was like, God damn it. But, also Quinn lobotomized the girl, but that's a side plot. Like, she's a vegetable now. But also, Layla got turned into a vampire, but not a real vampire. She got turned into, and maybe one of y'all will know what this is. It's not like a Japanese name, but I can't remember it. It's a monster. It's a creature in the vampire family that feeds off of negative emotions. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the name is, but that's Layla's new power.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of that she-vampire from the Jackie Chan Adventures show, to be honest.
Oh, maybe it is that. I don't know. It had a name. I just couldn't remember it. All in all, like I said, I'm really enjoying the book so far. I think the stakes keep ramping up. Oh, and also Quinn makes a promise he's going to save Peter and Vex for the vampire world. But we also have the threat that the vampire world is going to eventually, once they figure out like what Vex did, they're going to come for Quinn on some Saiyan arc shit, some Saiyan saga shit. So Quinn's got to get a lot stronger because he's barely stronger than Vex. And Vex is strong for his age, but he's not as strong as the strongest, okay? So I am curious to see what happens with these characters in the future. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. I'm really enjoying the arc so far. I recommend giving it a shot. It's going to be boring at first, but when it picks up, listen. best way to get into it, listen to it while you work. Like while you're working on something, you're just bored, you ran out of YouTube or TikTok videos, listen to it while you work. It's the best way to get to the good stuff. So
there you go.
Yeah. That's my vampire system. Thank you. Thank you for taking time to listen. So.
Cool. Much appreciated, man. Sounds interesting and fun to talk about. But all right, we got a lot of books to go to, so we should get to the next topic now. So, okay, now which?
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, let me pull up my tab because I was looking up something else. Hi, I'm here to talk about Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Issue 17. Can't believe this is 17 issues. Holy shiza, guys. Let me get my glasses on real quick. I can't see that well. Anyways, so we first start out with Yukio and her homie. I'm assuming, I can't remember what they do, but they do an internet thing. That's all I need. They're influencers, and they're like, okay, like I got to get inside, get some intel and all that other stuff, but it's going down, and I don't want to miss a thing. And so we cut back to the rest of the squad from earlier, if you guys remember from last month. They're like, we have to rescue our homies. We got to rescue Hisako, Nico, and if we can find Natsu, that's double great, besties. Oh my god. Can you go to the first picture?
Yep. We'll do.
There you go. Man. Yeah, this is a cool ass shot. I'm just saying. I'm surprised that like they could all fit in that tiny ass car. Well, they all sat in the car, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you could get like 20 clowns to fit into one small car, I mean,
Those are clowns. These aren't clowns.
Yeah.
The only clown in this book are two people. One of them's a child with a lot of mental issues, and the other one is Sinister. I don't know what to tell you, Bessie. Anyways, so Futaba's like, okay, Kanon, you really think your brother can pull this off? And she's like, he'll be fine, I think. Either way, no backing down now. We gotta get this show on the road. So Kanon's brother pretends to be a delivery man, and he's like, hello, I got a package for someone, anyone home? And gets caught by some of the children, one of the children of the Atom people. There's a fly in my room. Kill yourself, fly. Kill yourself. Yeah. Anyway. So the rest of the X-Men pull up, and they're like, get the fuck out of here, man. And so we see some more children of the Atom kids, and one of them has Nico's staff. But May calls it a wand. Doesn't matter. Magical device. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure that you can hear me still. Okay.
Yeah.
So this kid is going to use it, and uses it, and hits one of the X-Men kids with it. Another one of the kids uses this weird tentacle arm thing. I don't know what the fuck this is, but whatever's. Not important, I guess. To, like, bind May and some of the other X-Men kids. But don't worry, May has a plan. Throws leaves and wind in your face.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyways, so Kanon and Mori are looking through like the bushes or whatever, and Futaba's like, okay, we can admire her later. There's supposed to be a distraction. We gotta go. And so that's what they do. The coast is clear. Let's get inside. So they get inside the building and all that other stuff. And so they're looking around, they're trying to find it. And Mori senses something up.
Yeah. Which? Uh-oh. You guys hear me? Jake.
I guess it's time to talk about Sonic X again.
Gotcha. Shoot, let me message which. Technical difficulties. All right, talk about Sonic, audience.
I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't been thinking about Sonic X recently, I think I just hated it as a kid because it wasn't what I wanted. It doesn't mean it's a good show, but it was more entertaining than when I was a kid. Because I just kind of wanted Sonic and his world on his adventure. I didn't want this Chris Thorndike shit. I want to relate to a character in Sonic. I just want to be the character.
How fucking
Okay,
dare
what-
you?
Uh,
Anyways, if you
no-
switch to the next picture,
okay. Next picture.
there you go. You get the big scary man with no
Oh,
skin.
God, dude, I gotta say this book has some creepy artwork at times. Like,
See, I mean, that's the point. This is supposed to be a horror.
when you showed me to these pictures, which without any context, I really need you to explain to me what's going on here, dude.
I couldn't even tell you what's going on. I don't know how he
Yeah.
got in this situation.
I mean, especially when we get to like the next two pictures, dude. Like,
You're telling
or,
me, man. Oh my
yeah,
god, I don't even know how he got to this situation. But all you need to know is that he's in this situation.
yeah.
And even the others are like, what the fuck is this? So they find Kisako on a bed, right? She has a bunch of wires going into her. And Kano's like, oh my god, armor girl, like, what have they done to you? And so Futaba's like, if that's Hisako, and she looks up, she's like, then you must be Akihiro. And you just see him looking at her. And so she's like, oh my god, I found Nico. Because she was in the weird tubular tentacle things. I don't know what these are.
yeah.
I feel like I need a preface. I don't know what these are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much lore dump Peach is gonna give us for everything about the Children of the Atom. I would like to
Yeah.
know eventually. That's all I have to ask.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Futaba gets her out, and Nico's a bit disoriented. She's like, "What the fuck just happened?" So Kanon's like, "Hisako, like, what can we do? We need to get her out of there." And she's like, "Mori, like, get in here and help." And Mori is absolutely terrified. She doesn't want to go into this room with the creepy man with no skin.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't either. She's traumatized because of this place, and she still decided to come for her friends. That's
Yep.
dedication to a cause. She's like, I have my limit. I'll come. I have my limit. Anyways, so Nico is like, don't touch those tubes. Like, she's in some sort of coma type thing, and those tubes like could be keeping her alive. I don't know, man. And Futaba takes off one of her gloves, and she's like, well, I guess we gotta have a peek inside. Touches the tubes. And so we enter the tubes. Into the tube mind space. Because, you
All
know,
right.
if you know who Futaba is based off of, yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
So, they're into the mindscape, and they see Tsubasa. It's been a while since we've seen him, huh? It's been a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, Mori is locked out because of the tube thingamabob. And so the Meister is like, Kageyama, like, where the fuck did you go? If you ruined this for me, I swear. And so we cut back to the fight outside. And you remember that kid with Nico's staff?
Yeah.
Oh. He doesn't have the staff anymore, but uses some ice powers against one of the X-Men people.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be wondering, is this Bobby? I couldn't fucking tell you if this is Bobby. It could be Bobby.
Yeah. I mean, because
I
there's a
have
whole.
I have two options, and one of them is
Yeah.
Bobby, and the other one, I'm forgetting her name at the moment, but she has fire and ice powers. If you know, you know.
Gotcha.
That's my other.
I mean, it's like a guess who game, man. There are only like 5 options there. How many ice-based mutants are there in Marvel? You know, so
Not a lot. So my best bet is Bobby right
yeah,
now.
yeah, you
She's gonna
know.
tell us. She ain't gonna tell us
Mhm.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so they're like, so the other X-Men people are like, Mainstorm, go! Like, we got this. We can handle these kids. You know, we can handle these others. And so, with Nico's wand in hand, May goes and finds Mori, you know, trying to open up the tube thing to get in.
Yeah.
Basically, we cut to inside the mindscape. So Kageyama's like, oh, like, look, Hisako, your friends are here to save you. And so, if you guys remember, Hisako is being manipulated by Kageyama.
Yeah.
As she has been the entire fucking time.
Mhm.
Using her insecurities against her. Not fun. Anyway, so Hisako's like, so May isn't here. And so Futaba's like, is like, when I touch those tubes, I sense her trauma. Like, it's definitely deeper than I thought. And they're trying to like get her out of it, but to no avail at the moment. And so Morty's like, they found Nico, and he thought he was inside too, but I couldn't go inside. I don't know why. I was so scared. It's like, I get it. Did you see the man that was in there? Do you see the man that's right on your screen right now, audience? That's what she's scared of.
Yeah.
I would be too. If I was a kid and I saw that for the first, like if I saw that. So, I don't know, man. I get it. And so May uses all of her strength to get in to help her bestie. And that's what she does. She enters in this mindscape through the weird tube thing. And she gets in. Yay!
Yay.
And so basically, kicks Kisako to free Kanon from her grasp. Throws the wand to Nico. And yeah. And so basically, May is like, Kuchan, you jerk, do you know how worried we've been about you? Like, you've disappeared for months, and I thought every day about you. I don't know where you've been. Like, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea.
Gotcha.
And so you can tell that it probably has hit in Misako. And so Kageyama's like, interesting. Instead of coming to rescue her, you're here to lecture her? It's like, yeah, that's what friends do. Sometimes you need an intervention, Bessie. And they try to get into the other's brain. He tries to get to the other's brain. And it doesn't work. Because if you go to the next picture.
Yes.
Yeah, that ain't gonna fucking work anymore, bitch. He's choking her, like, her traumas. The version of Hisako that was manipulated by Kageyama.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. And basically kind of, like, absorbs it into herself. And then she basically uses her armor abilities to grab Kageyama and basically push him into Akihiro.
You want me to go up to the next picture, which?
Is it what I think it is?
Yes.
Is it the one where I was just describing?
Yes.
Can you go to the next picture?
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Audience, when I was making the thumbnail, right? Thumbnail for this live stream, I was like looking at all the pictures, and I'm like thinking, wait, if I were to cut this scene into a proportion of this, what does that look like?
You didn't have to. You could have just used May.
I'm just like, I need Witch to explain to me what the heck is this. I mean, it's like the Wasp situation in the MCU, right? Like, so nobody looked at her costume's insignia and said, yeah, what does that look like if you flip it upside down? You know, like, oh God.
I think he was waiting for me to explain this scene. Because when I first read it, because I what I do when I read comics for the first time, I skim it and then I go back and to fully reread it. Okay, that's what I usually do.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, "What the fuck?" Be grateful my friend Al isn't reading this book because oh my god, they would have a heart attack.
This is some unburfing going on here, audience. Like, damn.
I can't tell you what the fuck is happening here, but all you need to know is that she basically, using her armor self, grabs Kageyama and puts him into this man. And so basically, Hisako is also going into this chasm. Sure, let's use that word. And so May is like, "Where are you going? You can come home with us." And so basically, Hisako's like, "I'm sorry, May. I thought like no one cared about me. I thought I'd be forgotten, but you showed me I was wrong. But I must face Kageyama by myself. Don't worry about me. I will make this right. Thank you, May, for everything." And so you just see May with like a tear in her eye. She's like, "What the fuck?" And so Nico's like, "Hisako, you'll need this," and throws like her little charm of like, her armor. And she's like, "Thanks." And she's like, "See you later." And so basically the chasm closes. And what's left is the girls minus Mori in this room with Akihiro with the tubes in his mouth. And so Mori's still outside the room. And so basically she's like, "Guys, where is everyone?" And so basically you hear a voicemail panel is like, well, isn't it like if it isn't my blessed child number 127, I thought I'd never find you again. And so basically it is the Meister pulling up going full on sinister at this point. Honestly, I want to send this to my friend Alexis and be like, "Hey, here's a new profile pic for you on Twitter."
Okay. We need to convince Austin to make this his profile pic.
I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to him because I think it'll be funny if he did have it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this would be so fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie to you there. Okay, that's where the issue ends, but we do get a little bit of a lexicon with May. And
Yeah.
we learned that she watched Common Writers, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she's probably queer because she loves Storm. I
There
get
you
it
go.
too. I like Storm too. But anyway, that's the end of the issue. I'm gonna go back to my phone now. So I
Yeah.
will be
Just
right
saying.
back.
Gotcha. Just saying, Peach Momoko, you should have done a vertical project when they were still out. You know, I feel like you would do really well in an adult level graphic
I think
novel.
she has done like more adult stuff. I know like she does do a more adult art sometimes, but it's
Yeah,
most, but like she's doing something for Marvel. Like you'll
yeah.
be lucky if you even can do anything like
Um,
more 18
she
plus,
she
quote
she
unquote.
she's tipping the line right now into some of the
Like
artwork
in
she's
her
done.
like regular art that she does for herself, and like for certain other comics, like for covers, she's like more willing. But
Hmm.
it depends on the situation. But for this book, she's definitely going more horror, which
Yeah.
that's what I wanted from Ultimate Wolverine, but I didn't get that because you just want to do Weapon X in a different setting. Who said that? Who said that? Oh my god, there must have been a breeze. Must have been that fly, honestly.
Oof, gotcha.
Anyway, I'll be
Uh,
right back.
speaking of Gotcha. Speaking of fly, we probably should go on to the next book then. All right, audience, let's move on to the next one. We're talking about Captain Planet #2, audience. Yay! Finally, the issue decided to come out. I guess it takes a lot longer to print something on recycled paper, I guess, you know? So, all right. This book kind of like picks up what happens in the last issue. Remember, Gaia's is now held captured by this one billionaire entrepreneur who wants to harness the powers of the rings for his greedy corporation, this and that. And right now, all 5 members of the Captain Planet team, right? They all got the rings, they all got the messages, and they were all instructed to meet up in New York. Uh, you see, what's his name? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. Kwame, the one who has who the ring power of Earth, right? He meets G at the airport, and apparently G is a big fan of his because Kwame was a famous football player. Unfortunately, broken leg kind of shortened his career, which is why he
Well,
now
what
has to
happened
walk.
to the art? Look at this dude's
What?
face. I don't like his face.
Hold on,
Hey,
I don't have a good look. I think it
it's
just
a
might just be the cover artist, honestly.
yeah,
And
it's
I
just a
also
cover
hate
art.
that both of you guys have the same fucking profile pic. It's not even the same.
Yes,
picture,
because
it's just
whatever
different
cryptid
ones.
picks,
You chose
whatever
the
pic,
same
You
profile
could.
pic.
whatever cryptid picks automatically is my picture. I have no choice in it. And if I do it, then
Yeah,
he's
no. You can try, and we'll experiment this afterwards, Jake. All right, you can try putting up an avatar pic for yourself. See what
okay.
happens. Okay, but anyway, so we're talking about Captain Planet, guys. We can't distract ourselves from saving the environment. All right,
That's
you
true.
know. So all right, so G is a big fan of Kwame, and they get to bonding this and that. Unfortunately, they are taken in by this authority group. I don't know who they are. We'll get more into that later. But then we cut back to Linka. She's coming into New York as well. We get a bit more of her backstory. Remember, in this version, like Linka is like some rocker environmentalist, like down on the authority, down the establishment. This is somebody I would imagine would definitely want to hook up with. What that's Spider Punk? Yeah, somebody who would be from that world. She's the daughter of a rich guy, but she doesn't want to be in part of that group, that whole corporate world. So yeah, she's very much a rebel in this. And when she's pulling up in her limo, she decides to get out because there's a protest going around. People protesting like, for environmental change, don't plunder the earth, down to corporations, this and that. And she wants to be a part of it. And it was at this time you have Wheeler, our American representative, the one, the ring power of fire. He comes in during this protest. Unfortunately, he gets pushed aside during the conflict, and he accidentally uses his ring power to shoot at a police car. Right, so chaos is happening. Like everybody's running. Like Wheeler's trying to stop the fire from spreading. He accidentally bumps into like Linka, and I like this little scene. He's like, "Hey, what's the big deal, pal? What's wrong with this city? Why's everybody gotta be so freaking gorgeous?" Like, yeah. This is kind of canon to the original show because in the original show there was a romantic love interest between Wheeler and Linka. Funny enough, right? Like in the original show, it was all about like messaging and some sort of social commentary, right, audience? It went down to even the relationship in that situation because originally they wanted to pair Wheeler with G, but in light of like the Cold War having ended around this time, the writers are like, okay, I think it might be more appropriate if we have the American and the Russian be portrayed as more than just friends. They could be more than just friends. So yeah, social messaging even in the romance department, audience. You know, Captain Planet, he's our hero. But anyway, this is really going the route of like you would expect a superhero team gathering where everybody ends up fighting each other. At first it's Wheeler and Linka, and I kind of like her saying like she say, "Whew, you, if that's your idea of a pickup line, you slow-witted American, consider me not interested." You
Well,
know.
what's with the xenophobia? What are we doing here?
Okay, yeah. I'm bracing myself for more of this, like American bashing on Wheeler because it doesn't help that the artist decided to make Wheeler look like Guy Gardner. Like really, is it that on the nose?
Jokes on him. Guy Gardner was a standout character in Superman.
He was so bit of a hothead. I guess they're going for the hothead American approach for Wheeler.
Oh, is everybody just gonna be their country stereotypes? Is that what we're gonna be?
You might as well, I guess. So it was at this moment that Kwame and G, they were taken into like the vehicle with the authority, and Kwame decides to use his power on the salad that one of the authority figures was eating, right? And yeah, a salad alone is enough for him to basically cause a whole plantation to grow up in that vehicle car. I'm like, dang. Um, I know you're all about like spreading the message, but dude, if you could summon a whole Garden of Eden with just a salad bowl, I mean, come on, dude, get to work, dude. Like on saving the environment, dude, with your power alone. So anyway, the two people end up finding Wheeler and Linka, and yeah, they stop fighting each other, and Wheeler's like, "Yo, Rusky, want to switch partners?" And she's saying, "Well, duh, but only if you call me Linka." Like, oh, okay, right off the bat. So they get to fighting, and it wasn't until the kid with the heart powers, Mate. It's been a while since I watched Captain Planet, all right? So give me a break on pronouncing these names. So, he's able to stop everybody. And I gotta say, dude, he has like this shadow figure in his back the whole entire time he was in this book. You're like, wait, what's that? It's like the Shadow King or something like that. But it secretly ended up being Captain Planet himself who is specifically communicating towards Maite. And this comes in handy when like the authority come in with like their giant robot suits, and they are too much for the gang to handle. But it was thanks to Maite, who was being coached by his shadow figure to unite everybody's powers, and for the first time in this book, summon Captain Planet. Yo, there you go. Yeah, another good book, audience. Although I just wish this came out sooner. It's like a bi-monthly book. So
Bi-monthly. Lucky
yeah.
bastard.
Hey, it takes a while to be used to recycle paper at the end of the day, I guess.
You
So
said bi-monthly, so you get it twice
yeah.
a month?
No, bi-monthly meaning every other month.
I was about to say, I was like, if you get it twice a month, damn.
No.
I can't really say too much because Avengers Academy comes out almost every week, but that's a little bit different.
Yep. It doesn't need to require recycled paper to print
or
it.
any paper for that matter, unless you decide to print it.
But yeah, that's really it for the book. Yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of more invested in the whole Wheeler and Link Up situation being expanded upon this, So, see what happens. All right, with that, let's move on to the next book, audience. Oh, wait, what's on the next book?
You went out of order. Well, okay. Well, I did swap it out for this. So,
you do it, Jake.
We are back for our monthly dose of Hedgehog Fever. Okay. Sonic IDW is back, written by Ian Flynn. This is issue 80. We're on the road to 100, folks. Okay. And so far, I gotta say, this is when Ian Flynn's at his best. This is one of his better issues lately. Yeah. Ian's a weird writer for me. When he writes good Sonic, it's really fucking good. Like, characters just be on point. Okay? Like, they're really enjoyable to read. But sometimes, I don't know. Like, sometimes he writes characters and I'm like, do you understand what makes this character work? I suspect that they have been getting a lot of feedback on Twitter, a lot of negative comments, and I think some of these are being incorporated because I've noticed some critiques being addressed here. But we'll get into the issue as it is. Sonic and the Chaotix are investigating, are trying to investigate to see if Clutch was telling the truth that he really did shut down his operations when they're attacked by a bunch of Sonic Unleashed bots. I did like the return of these things. These were mini boss fights in Sonic Unleashed in the daytime stages, and so we get to fight a whole army of these, which is kind of cool. And we also get Shadow and Rouge here, who are also investigating their own thing. Right off the bat, I like how Shadow's characterized here. It's small changes, but these tweaks make him like more enjoyable. There's like a bit where Charmy's like where they're recapping the things they did leading up to this point, and then Vector gets mad at Charmy for something. He's like, "What? But you say I did good. You said I did good." And then Shadow's like, "Did well." Say it right. And then Shadow is like, did good, did well, whatever. And then I think later, like, someone makes another grammar mistake, and Shadow's like, "That's an oxymoron." You can't say that. I like Shadow just getting triggered by grammar. That's my new favorite thing for Shadow. He's like proper grammar. I didn't like, Sonic's energy in this one. It was very in character for him. He had the right amount of attitude. It wasn't that he wasn't making jokes, but these are jokes more in line with what I expect from Sonic. Not like I expect him to joke like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I did like that. I like the energy that Sonic came off with. I liked Rouge. She went back to her femme fatale characterization. Where I did like how she did little flirtatious touches on people. I thought that was pretty fucking fun. And I also like that we got to see Rouge and Espio actually talk. And once I read this issue, I was like, oh wait, these two have never actually talked to each other. Interacted at all. Technically they have, but this is the first time they've had like a one-on-one type thing. I also love how they try to hack into the computer. And they reference Shadow. This is one of those times where Ian Flynn does not do a good reference. Like sometimes it just feels forced. This is a good one. So there's a computer. They can't get into it. And we're just like, don't worry, I have this thing that can hack into it. And SBS like, oh, no. In my experience, this fixes all computer problems. Yeah, and he like karate chops the computer and it just works. That's stupid. It's a reference to Shadow 05 because
if that was Fonzie who did that, man, no one would complain. So
it's a reference to Shadow the Hedgehog, the game where the Chaotix spend the whole game trying to get into a computer, and Shadow just walks up to it and karate chops it, and then it just fixes the problem. So I like that. That's a good one, Ian. That's a good reference. I like this reference because it's a callback to something that SBO has seen before. It feels like something he'd try again. Like it feels like a natural thing, you know. I think I like it when Ian does these. I don't like the dialogue reference. I like when characters start saying things they already said before, but like as if they hadn't said it again. Or sometimes the song references can be a bit much. But this is, I wouldn't want these every issue, but these are the references that I can get behind. These are story forward references. But yeah, we get to fun interaction. We get to see Charmy actually rip the head. Well, Vector rips the head off one of the interceptors, and Charmy pilots its body and beats up other mechs with it. I thought that was pretty cool. We actually also get to see another cool moment. Sonic and Shadow. Sonic comes up with a plan. I know this sounds crazy. It's gonna boggle my mind. Sonic comes up with a plan. Shadow agrees. They do the plan, and then Sonic makes a joke, and Shadow smiles. I'm like, that sounds so simple, but you don't understand where Shadow has been through to where that is a big deal to me. That is a huge characterization feat. So I don't know. I feel like Sega might be loosening up on Shadow a bit. That's pretty cool. Usually Shadow's more antagonistic in this book, and it has come at the detriment of his character. Fans have complained nonstop, but seeing a more agreeable Shadow is fun. But he's still his own character. I do like when Shadow just kind of takes charge at the end, like with all regrouping and trying to figure out all the information. And Shadow takes like Rouge's data, and he's like, "Oh, I see. There's a bunch of Clutch's base. There's all of Clutch's like plans and bases. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna destroy some bots, figure out what's going on." And Sonic's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll come with you. I'll help you." And Shadow's like, "No." Looks at Rouge. I'll keep in touch, and then teleports away. I was like, okay. So I just like that. Like Shadow was actually MVP this issue. I actually really liked him for the first time in this book. But yeah, we also get the reveal. Sonic accuses Rouge of stealing their Chaos Emerald because he and Tails found a Chaos Emerald in a throwaway issue, and it got stolen beneath their noses. So he assumed Rouge stole it because she's the only one who steals these things other than Eggman. And Rouge is like, actually, my Chaos Emerald was stolen. And he's like, okay, but, you'll let me know if anything's going on, right? She's like, yeah. And so they kind of go about their day. And we find out that there's a mysterious villain who's been orchestrating all this stuff from the sidelines. And the bad news is they already have 6 of the 7 Chaos Emeralds. So, well, I wonder what's going on with that. So I actually really do enjoy this issue. So to the point where I actually really recommend people actually read this one. So, this arc might be the one to go on. I know we're getting a new antagonist and a new set of villains to go with her. So that's pretty neat and interesting. It feels like IDW is, I don't know if it's true or not. It feels like IDW is taking criticism from Twitter feedback and actually incorporating into their books, and it is paying off a lot for me. I actually really, really think this is doing a good job so far. Yeah, I highly recommend this book. I'd say get into this arc just for this book alone. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So, alrighty then. Guess with that, we should probably move on. We got like 30 minutes left after all. So, yeah. All right, let's move on to the next book audience.
Hello, it is I again. I was a fashion school serial killer issue 4. Yeah, the only book from Image I'm reading right now. Anyways,
There you go.
so we
Sick ass
start
cover. Mm-hmm.
with our lovely main character. Well, we actually don't start with her at all. We just see a whole bunch of blood, skinned corpses, some weaponry, and some other stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see our lovely main character, Rennie, sitting in a like taking a blood bath because, you know, for her skin condition, obviously. Because remember,
Yep.
guys, she has a skin condition, and
Yep.
it just so happens she needs blood to help out. You know, like I get it, I understand.
Oh.
But anyways, so we see her in class, you know, and all this other stuff, and we see those bitchy mean girls being all
Of
bitchy
course.
mean girl. Because of course, you can't even escape mean girls in college apparently.
Yep.
Whatever. Anyways, so yeah. So we see them talking shit, you know, and all this other stuff. And so Rennie is like, okay, if you talk shit about my friends one more time, you're going to fucking get it. And this is your only goddamn warning. Because keep in mind, she doesn't have a lot of friends. But the friends she does have, she keeps near and dear to her heart. Okay, just remember that. Near and dear to her heart. Anyway, so Rennie leaves. And the teacher's like, you have to take your seat. And then she's like, I gotta go find Sophie. Because, you know, top priorities, her bestie. You know? And so we see Sophie at an ATM. And she's like, oh my God, how did you find me? And so Rennie's like, friends and family. You know, I checked your phone. Find my iPhone. Have you ever heard of it before? No? Okay. And so Sophie's like, I'm not talking to you. And then Rennie's like, Sophie, please hear me out. Okay, Bodhi asked me to dinner and said that you and Bets would be there too. I didn't know until I got there. I promise. Like, Sophie, please. Like, the second I left, the second I found out, I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know how. Like, trust me, I wouldn't want to hurt my best friend. And so Sophie's like, did you say I'm your best friend? Oh my God. And like hugs Rennie. And she's like, you know, I'm still not comfortable with hugs. And so Rennie's like, oh, you'll get there. And so, you know, Sophie got to get back to work. And the fact that she had enough to pay tuition, she'll be back to school the next day. Let's go. And so basically, Rennie's like, okay, what about Bodhi? And she's like, I hope I never see that asshole ever again. Girls got ideas. Can you switch to the first picture? I just want to see what.
Will do.
Okay, yeah. Leave it there for right now.
Yeah.
So, we cut to Bodhi in his apartment. And he's like, I fessed up to anything. Like, she should be mad at Rennie, not me. I can't remember the last time she didn't text me back. He's like, why? So we see boys from off panel being like, maybe because you hurt her? And we see Rennie in the shadows, and she's like, you hurt the sweetest person I've ever met. So sweet that she can actually change how I perceive the fucking world. So Bodhi's like, Rennie, like, I didn't mean, like, well, I did, but, you know. And she's like, fine, I'll admit it. I'm in love with the both of you. And Rennie is pissed. She's like, how fucking dare you? And her skin condition, man. Her skin condition. Don't you care about her skin?
Yeah.
The largest organ on your body. Anyways, so she's like, I don't do love triangles. And Bodhi's like, what can I say? I guess I have a big heart. And basically stabs Bodhi in the neck with, I'm assuming, I can't remember exactly, but with scissors. Can you switch to the next panel?
Yep.
I don't remember what pages I sent you. There we go.
Yeah.
Stab.
That was a thumbnail-worthy picture up there, audience. I'll say that.
Yeah, but I don't know how YouTube would fare with half of the panel, like most of the panels I post from this book. Because I like to post the murder scenes. Yay! We love the murder scenes. Anyways, she's taking another bloodbath. Yay! And then she's holding his heart in his hand, and she's like, actually, your heart's a bit smaller than most, which I love that for her. Anyways, so, you know, she gets to class, and one of her other friends, which I forgot their name, that's my fault, is like, I don't get it, like, Sophie said that she would be here in class today. And so the teacher is like, class, as much as it pays me to say, Sophie decided to drop out of our fine institution. I talked to her cell phone this morning, and she couldn't come with the funds and all this other stuff. And so Rennie's like, you talk to her yourself? And so one of the bitchy mean girls is like, Miss Portia, you've always said fashion school isn't for the weak. Sophie definitely fit that in every way. And so Rennie's like, I fucking warned you. And so Rennie is obviously pissed. Not mad, pissed. And so the teacher's like, Rennie, sit down. And she leaves the class. And she's like, young lady, I'm speaking with you. And Rennie's like, I heard everything you said. And so basically, we cut to later that night where the teacher is trying to like turn on, like flip off the switch to turn on the lights. She's like, dang, I thought I paid for this month. She's like, is someone there? And she's like, oh my goodness. So we cut to Rennie sitting on one of the chairs. And we also see what we can assume is the three bitchy mean girls skinned sitting on the couch. All three of them together at last. Wow. Even in death. Anyway, so she's like, Miss Portia, I'm going to give you one chance to tell me the truth. Only warning. Explain why I found Sophie's phone in your house. Because no matter how hard I tried, Constance wouldn't tell me a goddamn thing. Wow. And so Portia's like, would it make any difference if I told you I didn't have a choice? Like at first, I wanted to keep the school. I just wanted to keep the school open. I love my school. Like, but once I became part of his little scheme, it was impossible for me to get out. They would have killed me. Like the dean of the students, like he's the ringleader of it all. I'm just a pawn. All this other stuff. He forces us teacher to help him prey on the girls that struggle with tuition. Blah 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 blah. He would harass the students like Sophie into desperation, etc. etc. He's like, he takes them when they're at their weakest and sells the poor students to human traffickers.
Wow.
And so Rennie over here is like, you sold Sophie to human traffickers. My Sophie. That was word for word, by the way. Obviously, she's pissed. Like, I would be pissed too. Even if I wasn't a serial killer, I would be like, you sold my best friend to human traffickers?
God damn,
what
right?
What the fuck? Like, oh my god. Honestly, if you really think about it, Rennie is the true superhero here. I'm just saying. But regardless, Rennie's
like, when I hear a story about human traffickers, I'm damn well expecting some skinning alive to be happening. Yeah,
someone's
later.
Gonna get skinned alive, bitch. And I hope it's the people who are involved with the trafficking, not the victims themselves.
Yep, of course, yeah.
So anyways, so Rennie is like, I just want you to know, Miss Portia, you were my favorite teacher. And so the teacher is like, please don't do this. Like, I'm sorry. I hope you find her. I'll do whatever. And basically, she takes out her hairpins and stabs her in the neck. And she's like, we both know it's too late for that. Can you go to the next picture?
Yo. There we go.
There you go. So she gets on a call while she is sewing, because there's a sewing machine. She's going to sew. And so the person on the other line is like, Portia, now is not a good time. I told you. And so Rennie is like, oh, this isn't Miss Portia, Dean Elias. This is Rennie. Before you say any more, Miss Portia told me everything. I recorded the entire conversation. I know if you go to the police, you'll just kill Sophie. Like, if I went to the police, you get the idea. So I'm going to offer you a better deal. You give me Sophie, I'll give you the phone. And so Elias is like, okay, I'll have to talk to my people, but I can make that happen. There's an old abandoned textile mill outside the city off of the interstate. I'll text you the address. Meet me there in 2 hours. And she's like, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And so that's where the issue ends. And so the final issue, because this is a miniseries, is coming out, I'm assuming, this coming up month in August. So stay tuned, besties. I'm excited to see some human traffickers get skinned alive to help Rennie with her skin condition and to get her bestie back safely. Who's ready for that?
No. 2 hands up for me, you know? So, all right, cool.
Anyways,
Well,
that's all from me for right now.
gotcha. So, anyway, all right, then. I guess with that, we should probably move on to the next book. Do. Ah,
Oh yeah.
all
Okay,
right.
so it's the both of us. Did you get
Yep.
pictures?
Not only just one picture, and it's the one from the thumbnail, really. But,
Okay. You could
yeah.
have asked me. I could have gotten the pictures for you.
I was like in a bit of a time crunch, remember?
You could have
So,
just texted me real quick, be like, "Hey, can you get pictures for Doom's Division?" And I would have been like, "I got you, bestie."
gotcha. Well, we'll something for
But
next time.
regardless, we could be very good at describing what's on panel. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, sadly, this is the finale of this tie-in audience. Yeah, I wish it. I feel like it's the same situation I had with the Popeye one. I feel like you need at least one more issue to kind of tie things together, you know. But
I guess, but I didn't mind how it ended. But I feel like we should just get
mm,
started.
gotcha. So yeah, the issue starts off with Luna Snow in the midst of a concert, you know, to promote her new song to support Doom's rule.
Which she's
Until
not
she,
happy about, by the way. If you've read the book, you know that
yeah,
she was not happy about any of this.
no, exactly. Like
However,
you could definitely tell she's gonna be burning this outfit after this event is over. You know, she's like, "Eee, I don't even want this outfit in my closet because they had to give her a Doom and a Sorcerer Supreme Doom inspired outfit. Audience,
I mean, by
yeah,
itself, it's sick as hell, but I get why she
yeah,
wouldn't want to wear it. But she gets a message
mm-hmm,
from her homies being like, "Hey, Sunfire dead, Tiger Division in prison, White Fox betrayed us," and at the same
yep,
time, you just hear a whole bunch of like people just chanting her name, and you see that little
yeah,
girl with the prosthetic leg. Remember from earlier? She's in the front
yeah,
row, bitch.
yep, yep. She's such a big Luna Snow fan. Her prosthetic legs has like all her symbols and names and all that stuff, you know. So that's
Yeah.
dedication.
So we cut to the
So,
rest of the crew.
like
Um,
bomb. This is their version of Prison Break audience, you know,
yeah. So
the
yeah,
ones that got in prison. Mm-hmm.
and Takuki's like, White Fox owes us answers for killing Sunfire, for locking
Mm-hmm.
us up, and everything. Like he's pissed.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
Pissed.
It's because of her the world now knows my weakness. Water. Like
Yeah,
I'm not good.
because people can drown any time of the day.
Yeah.
Even if you
I'm just,
can't swim, you could still drown.
I'm just saying, like, if you're a Superman stand-in, man, it's kind of sounds a little bit
No, he's a
underwhelming.
flag character. He's more of a Captain America stand-in, but for
Nah,
Korea.
like a combination of both. Yes, he's the on paper he's like the Captain America stand-in, but on power sets he is the Superman stand-in. You know, so
I guess.
yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm.
Karma is like, okay. So not just the plot, like Taguki, Doom wanted enforcers on his side,
Hmm.
to put down Sunfire's resistance, and White Fox was happy to play along. And Taguki's like, I
Hmm.
used to believe White Fox had our best interests at heart. However, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, they have to go to her office now. So that's what
Oh
they
yeah.
go do. They gotta go to her office.
I gotta say, audience, White Fox is treated like a complete final boss in this. You know, like, dang. I've liked her character since the beginning, but I've never seen her this like overpowered before. You know, so yeah.
But don't worry, the non-Korean girlies pull up. So they have a little convo. So Wave, Arrow, and Karma, they have a little convo while they're running to the office and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And so they run off to a separate section while two of them do. I think her name's Arrow. Yeah, she runs off with the
Arrow,
rest of
yeah.
the squad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their plan. And so they're about to get sniped, but don't worry, they don't get sniped because force fields. Yay!
Hey.
Don't worry, we're all good. We got the force field. But don't worry. White Fox pulls up. Yay. So Takuki's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you got a lot of explaining to do, bitch. Like, what's the deal here? So she's like, what is there to say? I gave you I gave you a mission from Doom himself, and you failed to complete it. I don't know what you want. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Like shit.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I'm a agent of the Korean government at the end of the day. You know, like.
And so Arrow's like, is this Doom's goal? Heroes fighting each other, eliminating anyone who steps out of line. Like, what is this? Earth X? Just kidding. I was so confused, but I'll get into my Earth X rant later.
Yeah.
Anyways, so White Fox is like, hey, peace doesn't always mean the absence of war. Yeah, you of all people should know this. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. I could give you a Korean history lesson in under 2 sentences if I wanted to. Anyways, the Tekuki's like, that's not my definition of peace. That's not anyone's definition. We do not want Doom's. We don't want to do Doom's bidding anymore. So White Fox tries to do her thing, but is interrupted by our lovely robot friend. And and everyone goes in for the attack. Yay. And before she can flash Tekuki, he's like, that is enough, and throws her into a wall.
Oh yeah.
I forgot his name, but the guy who with the wires, yeah, he basically manipulates the wires to electrocute her. And she's down. Kind of. And so Tekuki's like, okay, we need to take White Fox in for questioning. Lady Bright, like, how long will your vine secure her? Doesn't last long because she turns into her fox form.
Dude, anybody who reads this book, you definitely want to vouch for White Fox being the next character for Marvel Rivals.
Dude,
like
they should put her Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, like her going all beast mode. That's basically her special move, her charging move.
I know she's not blonde, but I think it would be funny if they put her in with all of like the characters who wear white and mostly white, but with blue and are blonde or have light hair. I think she can fit almost perfectly in there.
Nah, I say she has to keep the white part of her.
No, I'm not saying that she should go blonde. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying she can almost fit into that group.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, if you wanted someone who fits that description perfectly, I have the perfect character for you. But we'll talk about that later. We gotta finish the book.
Yep.
So Tekuki's like, I was hoping you wouldn't come for this, bestie. So they gotta fight a giant Kumiho. Lovely. But before anyone can get hurt by the giant Kumiho in question, we see a whole bunch of ice. Pew, 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 pew. And our girl Luna is here. Yay. She's like, I got you. Like, I got your message. Did you think I would hibernate forever, bitch? So she tries to escape. Does not work because they're chasing after her. So Luna's like, leave it to me. She changes out her outfit to make it completely made out of ice, which I love that for her.
Yeah, it was a little cool.
And so basically she's able to trap White Fox in a cage of icicles. So lovely. So she changes back to her regular form. Okay. And White Fox is like, looks like I chose my team well. And Tekuki's like, if you think this is a time for performance evaluation, forget it, bitch. No hypnotism. No Kumiho magic. You assigned us a job we should never have accepted, and that's on us. And what you did to Sunfire, that was on you. And if you try any tricks, Gunner 2 will take you out.
Yep.
And so basically, Lady Bright is like, okay, we're giving you one chance to explain White Fox, explain yourself. And so someone off panel is like, oh, I can explain. Guess who it is? Sunfire's alive.
Yay.
I had a feeling he was not actually dead, bitch.
Yeah.
He's all like smiles and shit with Arrow and Karma. He's like, hey.
Yeah, just saying, audience, there are worse ways to go out than what supposedly Sunfire went out in this story, you know? Getting
he could have had his liver or his heart taken. Because if you know anything about Kumihos, you know that is a thing that could happen.
Yep.
So he's like, I'm hurt. You thought I'd go down that easily. And she was like, please, if I had gone all out, you wouldn't have a liver. So, you know, there's some like playful banter and everything and like all that shit. And so Lady Blade is like, what the fuck is happening? You were working against Doom the whole time and didn't fucking care to clue us in. And she was like, because I needed it to be convincing to pull one over out on the fucking Sorcerer Supreme, who is also Dr. Doom. Okay, I've been secretly trying to set up an alternate base out here, free from Doom's eyes and ear holes. But the order to go after Sunfire messed up that timeline. Like, you might have an excellent poker face, Lady Bride, but the others, and you just see Tech, he's just like, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's quite a lot to take in to like, just pull a full 360 here to say like, oh yeah, this was all just part of our master plan, guys. But really,
Yeah, we would have gotten more with that earlier. Anyways, so Luna is like, okay, Doom may have casted a shadow over the world, but we all have a role to play and we make choices. Okay? Like, we could choose to be the light inside the shadow or become part of the darkness itself. He's like, Tiger Division can no longer support Dr. Doom. That much is clear. And Sunfire's like, together we can be a thorn in his side. A thorn. Well, one of many thorns, because I haven't really been paying attention to too much in this event. This was not the event I really cared for. Yeah. That was Blood Hunt, by the way. Blood Hunt was the event I cared for. But whatevers. Anyway, so Sunfire is like, okay, you're not the only one who's done things they regret, Luna. He would know. He's like, it's never too late to make a better choice and all this other stuff. And so White Fox is making up bullshit to give to like the Korean government.
Yeah.
And Sunfire,
they fist bump basically. Bros.
Yeah, the Arrow and Wave leave. The Luna Snow Show got canceled because obviously, and now they're off the grid. Yep.
Let me bring up the picture I had.
Yeah. So this was the last page. So we see that little girl from earlier with the prosthetic leg, and she's looking at a screen. And she's looking at the screen, and we see Luna, all front and center in her cool blue outfit. You know how it be. And it said, with Karma in the background being like, defy Dr. Doom, and an end, or a beginning. Yay! Yeah. That's the end of the issue. I gotta go grab my charger real quick. I'm still gonna be on the call because I'm 2 steps away from my charger. Let's go.
Go for it. But I just want to give my thoughts on this because, like, the whole series is basically setting up like, White Fox turning on against the team, this and that, right? So I don't know if I like that whole trope where at the end you find out, oh no, this was all just complete 360. This is all part of their master plan. I was actually working for you guys this whole entire time. Nah, for me that just shows that's just like the writer trying to clean up like what they set up already as soon as possible.
I mean, they only did have 5 issues, so
yeah. Kind of wish they had at least one more to make it more cleaner at the end.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they did set up like, yeah, we're gonna have our own hidden base away from Doom, but also I'm thinking like, is this gonna be relevant to the actual One World Under Doom event? I mean, I'm not reading the main event audience, so I wouldn't know. But hey,
we don't care about one book.
Yeah, so but at the end of the day, it gave us more. This whole tie-in gave us a chance to see some of our favorite characters like White Fox and Luna Snow get some time to shine in the comics. Because as popular as those two are, we do need to see them more in more books. So yeah. But all right, that's pretty much it. So we'll move on to the next one. Jake. Oh wait.
Yes, this is not a review, but an announcement. Okay.
Yeah.
So Bionicle Ignition. So I was planning on reviewing this at some point. So what we're in right now with the Bionicle with the Toe Ignite is called the Ignition Trilogy. The next 3, so that's like 3 books. So it's the Toe Ignica, the Toe Marhi, and then the Toe Fantoka. I would argue. Well, I don't know how the books are laid out. I would argue it's a quadrilogy, but that's not what I'm told. So I'll go with what I'm saying. So Project Montanili, who are the geniuses who are behind stop motion films in the Bionicle universe before, they have been working tirelessly to finish the 3rd part of the Bionicle Ignition series. Before they just did the book. They've been doing. Yeah, just to give you guys an idea, I complained before that there were only 3 movies, and the stories that Bionicle fans wanted a movie about, we never got, which was like the Toei Nika, the Toei Marhi, and all this other shit. And so there were a group of Bionicle fans who made those movies themselves in stop motion. So,
Yeah.
there are two already out, and I watched them, but I kind of skipped through them. So I didn't really get to watch them properly. I'm gonna actually review these. I think that I'm gonna review these, and compare them to the books. I'm gonna do Bionicle Ignition 1, which is Island of Doom, which is the book we're reading of the same name. And it's gonna cover I think it should cover the entire book. And then as I read the Toa Marhi saga, I'll do Bionicle Ignition 2. But I just wanted to make the announcement that they actually released the first episode of the Battle for Power saga, which is like the part 3 of the Ignition trilogy. And I'm actually very excited to get to it, because this is when they started, there were clearly novices trying to figure out how this is all working. And so now I'm kind of excited to see like how much they've grown and like how much they've improved their craft. So can't wait to see it. So I recommend Project Machina. I recommend watching these just if you want to, understand the Bionicle novels. I recommend watching the movies first and then watching this, so you just get an idea of like what professionals can do with the Bionicle property. And not to diss these guys, is just to say that the first one, you could tell the quality is it's felt, but it's also a bit amateurish at times. So so, that's my announcement. Next week we'll be back. I'm just tired. I just didn't have the energy. I wasn't, like I said before, I'm not really feeling the book as much, and I was already exhausted. I've been working overtime lately, so like I just didn't have time to go into it. But I did want to announce that this is what we were doing. So
we're all overheated. It's not just because of the summer heat after all. So, all right. But all right then. I guess with that, probably should move on. We have 2 more books to talk about. So all right.
Oh, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, sorry, I don't have my glasses on right now. My phone's kind of far away. But anyways, I'm here to talk about a Marvel Voices Avengers Academy issue 52, A Rogue Takeover, Part Joes. This time I won't do this under 5 minutes, because now I have time to talk about the book. Yay!
Yep.
Because I wasn't out of state, out at a bus stop. It was great.
Right.
Anyway, so we start off at a lounge, the Jarvis Lounge, after the Roxxon protest, where people are getting help after all the bullshit that Roxxon did, because they're assholes. Silhouette, that was her fucking name. I didn't remember her name. She has the crutches, by the way. Anyways, so Hawkeye's like, you shouldn't have engaged, and one of the people are like, I was trying to protect people. And so Hawkeye's like, fine, like, whatever. Can you go to the next picture?
Yep.
Oh, no, wait, go back. You know what? Go back.
Oh.
Sorry. I thought I had a different panel, but wrong one. Anyway, so Daredevil's like, so you couldn't get Mr. Murdoch's paperwork delivered correctly, so you started a riot? And, like, the girl from the last issue with, like, the purple hair, she was like, it was not a riot, it was a protest. And he was like, I'm joking, and in part. But Roxxon's no ordinary foe. What do you think Murdoch was trying to take them on? And so there's this Fox girl. I don't know her name, but there's this Fox girl. I'm assuming a mutant. And she was like, civilians don't always have time to wait for the professionals. You're literally superheroes. You beat up people for a living. Shit. Like, damn. Anyways, you can go to the next panel. There you go. And so Rogue is like, look, you're not wrong. I do punch people who hurt others. But not everyone does that. Look at Professor X. He used to see a different way. Like, back in the day, he was really into nonviolent protests. It wasn't just for mutants either. And she was like, that's right. Professor X did the Capitol crawl. And I was like, he did the Capitol crawl? That shit's wild to me. Okay, if you don't know what the Capitol crawl is, it was basically kind of like a protest for disabled people to get rights, because they didn't always have rights. I mean, they're still getting fucked over to this day.
Right.
So yeah. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I thought I was going crazy. Yeah, the thing that Professor X, of all people, was doing that shit was fucking wild to me. Knowing Charles, that shit's wild. I don't see that man doing that shit nowadays. So that makes sense why he was really like back in the day. That was a back in the day thing. That was not a nowadays. But they're bringing up that, but they can't bring up the FLQ for JP. You know, I'll get into my rants about his Marvel and historical events later.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, I already told you what the Capital Crawl was. You already know now. And so basically, Rogue is like, okay, but we never got what we needed. Either way, not fully. And so this one girl in a wheelchair is like, yeah, well, neither have we. We wanted to like change things too, you know, pick up the torch that the others have carried before us. Damn, we're trying to help too. Shit, Rogue. Fuck. Anyways, so that purple hair girl, forgot her name. That's my fault. She's like, okay, it's not like being disabled is all that different from being a superhero or a mutant. So many of us feel like we have to hide. And so Rogue is like, I mean, you're not wrong. My power is also my weakness. I literally can't touch people. And so that one girl in the wheelchair is like, well, you can, but... And so Rogue is like, yeah, but these gloves are an adaptive aid, just like... So, not Rogue. The girl in the wheelchair. Forgot her name.
No.
She's like,
So
yeah, well, your gloves are like an adaptive aid, just like this wheelchair is, and the Vesper is for Winds. That's her name. Win.
Oh, okay.
That's her name. I'm not good at remembering names, okay, guys? You're going to have to work with me on this. Anyways, so she's like, and that's why we protested, so that we can all exist in public spaces safely. Okay, so that we can show that how Roxanne treated Win and everyone who tried to stand up for the right thing. Like, shit. And so all these other people are, like, watching. And so she's like, so are we going to do something about it? Like, especially that machine that Roxanne used against us? And so Hawkeye is like, duh, obviously. And so Silhouette is like, oh, way ahead of you guys. So this one foundation picked up rumors that the Sentinel, NULL, is a crowd control prototype. You know, targeting anything the user considers against public interest. The text for sale to anyone, corporations, government, private interest. It's bad. Trust.
Yep.
And she's like, but I think I know where Roxanne is storing it. And so Rogue is like, perfect. Us superpowered people can handle that. But what about civilians? When you start off with your service dog denial, how do you want to handle that ADA violation? And she's like, good news on that front. While we're cleaning ourselves up, Mr. Murdoch filed in the Second Circuit. Because lawyer shit. Can you go to the next picture, please? You know, sometimes, audience, I forget what panels I sent to Cryptid. Sometimes I remember, but sometimes I don't. Anyways, so we start off with this press conference with Matt Murdock and co. And he's like, okay, today we're formally filing a lawsuit against Roxanne to ensure equal access for disabled community members and mutants. Even though if you know anything about Roxanne, they would not follow that shit. They're like, DEI? What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Anyways, so Matt is like, every day, mutants and disabled people alike are forced to figure out how to adapt a world that wasn't built for them. So today is a reminder that discrimination has no home here. I mean, it's true. He's not wrong, but knowing Roxanne, yeah, fuck Roxanne. Anyways, so we see some of the superpowered peeps beat up some guards. And Clinton's like, knock, knock, jokes aren't funny to deaf people, but I still like knocking down doors. So Silhouette's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Clint. And even Rogue is like, ugh. Anyways, so we get some superpowered peeps, including that Fox girl from earlier. Remember her? So she's like, okay, I know I asked for a super tough code name like Foxfire, but I'm gonna stay right here until it's time for me to mail the big scary box thing. I think there was a missed opportunity for her to be called Firefox.
Oh.
Do you get it? Like
Firefox.
The browser?
Yeah.
Okay. You got there eventually.
Yep. Yeah, retro name. Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, we get the superpowered peoples. They're fighting guards and all that jazz. So, can you go to the next picture, please?
Yeah. That's the
Anyway,
last
so
picture.
she gets to the Sentinel, trademark, by the way. It has a trademark symbol. And she melts that motherfucker. And so, like, one of the guards is like, what the fuck? What happened to all of our comms and everything like that? And they're celebrating. They're like, yay, we did it. We melted the scary box. So they cut back over to, like, this lounge area, this coffee shop, and they're all hanging out. And so Wynn is like, I know Roxanne will keep coming up with evil ideas, but at least this time we won. We won one of the battles. It's great. We see Wynn's service dog just playing around because, service dogs need breaks too. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And everything. And so Rogue's like, the whole time, like, the whole point of being a superhero is doing what you can. Welcome to the club, bestie. And so that's where the issue ends. And you might be wondering, why were these past two issues a part of the Marvel Voices Avengers Academy book? I couldn't tell you why. Like, am I appreciative that they're acknowledging Disability Awareness Month? Yes, because it's not it's not the most well documented like month out of the year, like Pride months out of the year. So it was pretty cool. But yeah. Anyways, the next issue is the Battle of the Gays, the Juggernaut fights. That's not what it's called. That's what I'm calling it. So it's gonna be Cade Marco versus Justin Jin. They're fighting. The girls are fighting, even though they don't want to. Yeah, the gays are fighting, guys. The gays are fighting. You might be wondering, why am I saying that they're gay? Well, one of them is confirmed gay, and the other one is most likely gay. You should see how he interacts with Black Top Bitch. Those two are fucking married, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Yes,
but so Sidorak is not happy with how those two are behaving. So they gotta duke it out.
Yes, but the clock strikes 12, and as it is said in the Cinderella story.
So, all right.
Bye guys.
Okay. So, thank you for joining us, audience, and yeah, we'll see you all next time. Toodly doo.
Bye guys. I'll see you guys later.